What's good, YouTube fam? It's Jelly here. We're about to get into another reaction today. This one is called Sippin' Smoke. It's with Cam Newton and he got Steve Harvey on there, and they chilling, just talking about life and everything. So let's get into it, alright? Let's go.
I present the psalm and introduce to others the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Yeah,
Steve Harvey.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
It's a pleasure, man.
Man, I got you, y'all laced up and ready. Got your scotch per your request. Got your cigar. You know what I'm saying? A darker blend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom. And we can just start it off simple with a little simple tune. Would you like to make the first toast?
All right.
There you go. Yes, sir.
All right. Here's to everybody that gets up and keeps getting up. Every time you fall, rise again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
So you got the good stuff.
This is Sip and Smoke, where, number one, this is a candid conversation. You feel me? You the OG in the game. One of the pioneers of Black excellence from the entertainment standpoint.
Wow.
You know, I just started off, for me, take me through the world of Steve when you just have this big accomplishment. You just sign a deal, you create something that's like what you're drinking, what you're smoking.
I try to reward myself along the way, you know. I take everything in levels, you know, like I reward myself as I accomplish. I don't just reward myself as I want things.
Right.
When I see something I want, I attach it to a goal.
Wow.
That keeps the drive alive. I'll always keep the goals out in front of me. And then when I do reach the goal, that's the reward. Cigars for me is like yoga to a lot of people because it's a breathing exercise. You know, it's a moment to reflect. It's not the flavor, it's tobacco.
Right.
It ain't the flavor. These ain't delicious. You know, it's tobacco. You know what I mean? But what it is, it symbolizes accomplishment for me. So I get to sit down and breathe and take in my moment and enjoy the ambience of where I am and the accomplishment that I made. And it trains your brain to always aim for something.
Right.
See, what hurts us, man, when we start making money is when we first make money, we've been without so long that we just go by. And I did it in the beginning too. You know, my first piece of money I made, I spent all of it because I had nothing.
Right.
But as I learned over the years, man, I started tapering that down, and I started working towards rewards. You know.
With this new show, this is something that people haven't necessarily seen me in. They used to see me with a football in my hand, a helmet on, being an athlete. Give me some things, some do's and don'ts that you can empower me with to go to the next level.
Okay, look like this a new show with Cam Newton and his guest is Steve Harvey. They getting their grown man on. Look like they're in a little smoker's lounge, chilling, lighting up, talking about their successes and everything. So, look pretty smooth. I disagree so far with Steve, but I agree. Because if you get the right cigar, it do taste right. Got good flavor to it. So, but depending on what you smoke. So, yeah, I know I like lighting up here and there and sitting back on the patio, chilling out, reflecting on life. So, look like it might be a good show. Let's get into it.
Well, I mean, the first thing that's kept me relevant for so long is authenticity. I think you can't be in front of the camera for a sustained period of time and not be authentic.
Right.
Because you can't fake the funk, but for so long. Authenticity is the best thing you could do. You just got to be Cam no matter what. Now, that's going to come back to bite you sometimes.
Right.
Because everybody don't want the real Cam Newton all the time. Everybody don't want the real Steve Harvey every time. I've just grown up to be authentic on TV. I'm myself. This is how I talk. You know, look, man, they told me a long time ago, they said, you're going to have to change the way you talk if you want to stay on TV. because you're too country. And your grammar ain't correct. So I said, well, let me ask you a question. Which one of these sound best to you? I am broke or I'm is rich? Now, which one of them sound best to you?
Me?
I went with I'm is rich.
Yeah, I swear.
So if I change all the way I am, I'm gonna mess around and be broke.
But a lot of times people forget that, and they look at me, they look at what I wear, they look at how I talk, they look at how I look. And I used to always say to people, especially when I came into the league, it was like, you know, this is the blueprint. The Drew Brees, the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, these type of players, the Steve Youngs, right? And for me, I was like, yeah, that's fine, but I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of those athletes, they're great in their own right, but in order for me to impact and empower my community, I need to be me.
Yeah.
For the kid that sees me being and doing the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm accomplished, they can be able to relate to it and say, man, Cam came out of these streets, I can come out of these streets. You said something that's very impactful about Muhammad Ali. You know, growing up in the 60s, he was the first person that you heard as a black person say, I'm great, and you believed him.
All right. Yeah, they definitely chopping it up, and Cam is right. Steve is right. Definitely got to be yourself. Anything you do, I mean, you are the only one of you, so take that with a grain of salt, but be you. But Cam do dress crazy, though. And us regular folks, we definitely trying to get rich any way we can, but at the same time, if that's what it is, and having a stylist, I don't know, he need to change his up. Steve, he stay fly. Yeah, I mean, they kicking the real though. But yeah, Cam, you and the way you dress, I don't know about that. All right, let's continue.
He gave me hope. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a little kid, man.
Right.
I am the greatest. I went, what? And it implanted in my mind that I could be great at something too. Mm-hmm. You don't get paid money to be ordinary.
They don't pay to see humble. From a father's lens, what advice could you give me being a father, by allowing your children to step in their own greatness?
The thing I've learned about fatherhood, ain't no manual, ain't no blueprint for raising your kids. And you have to allow them because they're going to. So it's not you allowing them. They're going to make mistakes.
Right.
And you have to allot for those mistakes. Because no matter what you teach them as a parent, they one day are going to make a decision that's completely adverse to everything you've ever taught them. Just stay with them because they're going to make mistakes and you got to keep loving them. Now, my sons, they're a little bit different. When they make mistakes, they can come to me, but I got that, you got to figure this out.
Right.
I'll give it to them. But one day, you got to be the head of a household. You got to be somebody's husband, somebody's father. It's going to require toughness, so I make them struggle a little bit more. My daughters is different. I'm protective of them.
Right.
If you attack my daughters or my wife, I'm coming for you. I'm real protective of them, but as a parent, man, you gotta let them grow.
We both have something in common. And raising a stepdaughter, raising a stepson, raising a child that didn't biologically come from you, it takes a hell of a man.
All
right?
day.
So for me, how does that change? How is the growth? Because there is some disconnect. There is some type of, I'll say, some mental tampering that you have to disassociate and say, because it's a man that has such an ego. You can feel so great, and if this child says, "You're not my daddy," it can make you feel this small.
Oh, look, man.
Okay, yeah, they talking about parenthood, and I've been on both sides of that stick. I mean, I'm a father with a 23-year-old son, and yeah, you want your sons to be tough. You want to raise them to be their own man. Like Steve said, you're gonna be the head of a household one day and stuff like that. So you want them to know how to stand on their own 2 feet, just like my parents did to me. They gave me the world, they gave me love, but at the same time, I made my mistakes and hell, still make them. But that's just the way that ball rolls. But yeah, and then I've been in the stepfather type role and stuff like that, and that's a bittersweet thing because you do your best. You want a loving household always, but at the same time, it can be a difficult situation to be in. So, but it's tough. But they kicking facts. So, all right, let's go.
And I don't.
So how do you handle it? Taking on that type of responsibility in this day and age.
Yeah, man, I done been through it because, when I married Marjorie had 3 children. The challenge in that, man, is that, one time one of them said to me, "You ain't my daddy," and then my question was, okay, but where he at though? Because I get tight too. Don't step to me disrespectful because I'm doing the job. And men who take on another man's responsibility, that should be a day for them.
Right.
Really. Cats like me and you who step up, who play fathers, when cats done walk away from their responsibility, that's a different kind of man.
It does take a hell of a man to be able to look a person in their eye and have the same love, the same compassion. If it came down to a life or death situation, you won't even blink.
You'll die for them.
Real talk.
See, that's what cats out here be running their mouth. You don't understand. I will die for them. Now, whatever you saying, and that yakety yak you talking, you ain't willing to die for what you saying, but I'm willing to die over what you said. Now that's a different dude here we talking to now. See, because we talking about grown ass man now.
I need to ask this question. When did it click for you? You were a boxer, an auto worker, an insurance salesman, a carpet cleaner, and a mailman. Now you got your own show.
Yeah.
A best-selling author,
Yeah.
a TV host, a radio personality, an actor, a mogul, right? Like, when did it click?
Everything starts in your imagination. That's where young people got it. If I could tell a young person something, believe in your imagination, because imagination is real. I was writing jokes for this comedian named A.J. Jamal when I was 27 years old.
Right.
And I didn't know what he was doing with the jokes. He would give me $10 for writing a joke for him. But he was going to comedy clubs using them. I had never heard of a comedy club. So he'd give me $10. And so one day I was over his house turning in these jokes, and this girl named Gladys Jacobs was over there. And she said, "You the one write A.J. Jamal's jokes?" I said, "Yeah, I write some of them. I don't know what's happening." She said, "Why don't you tell the jokes yourself?" I said, "How?" She said, "Why don't you go to a comedy club?" And I said, "What is that?" She said, "You don't know what a comedy club is." And I said, "No." She said, "You should come." So she took me to the comedy club, which was in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, 40 minutes from Cleveland. I went up there, man, and I had wrote some jokes for the dude that I hadn't sold him yet. So I just started doing the jokes. They had a clap off. I won amateur night, $50. We driving home that night, and I'm crying the whole way home. And she said, "Why you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, "No. I'm born." I said, "This what I'm gonna do." That was October 8th, 1985.
Looking back on your ride.
Wow, that's deep right there. Telling you a little bit about his history. Sound like Steve came a long way, man. And that hustle and that grind, which most of us can relate to. But sound like he had a defining moment in his life, and that night, like I said, he won that $50, and that he knew he had something there. So that's about finding that niche in your life, and when you meet it, and just taking advantage of it. And like they say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So, but yeah, we know who he is today. So Steve been doing this thing for a long time. But wow, that's deep. So everybody got a past, but what you gonna do with the future? So make it happen.
Rise to fame. Do you think if you had social media, would it have benefited your career, or would it have, Would you have benefited more or benefited less having it or not having it?
I tell you like this, like the kings of comedy. We existed in 97, 98, all the way to 2000 with no social media. They didn't even do a newspaper article on us until the third year we was on tour. We were selling out basketball arenas everywhere.
So you had Bernie Mac, rest his soul, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer,
That's right.
and yourself.
That's right. Said my best friend, right? I ain't never laughed so hard at nobody in my life than Said the Entertainer. You know, we've been together. Me and Said met in '88.
Yeah.
We've been friends ever since. We was the Steve Harvey show. We was the kings of comedy. I mean, my career was tied to his. If it wasn't for Said, man, I probably wouldn't even be here at the level I'm at.
Man, he ain't lying. Said it's silly, and I went to that tour in Detroit. What was that at? Joe Louis Arena, I believe, at the time. And yeah, it was funny, well worth the money. The boys did their thing, all of them. Said, I remember him, what was one of his jokes? He said something about it's so cold in Detroit. When he was here, he saw a Greyhound bus, and the damn Greyhound that be on the side of the bus was inside the bus, like, had us cracking up. Said is a fool, so good show.
And that's remarkable. We got a segment on this show where we do the nightcap. I ask the same question, and it's up to your discretion how you want to answer it.
Okay.
Right? So the nightcap consists of this. Steve Harvey, what's now and what's next? And is there anything you would like to do that you haven't done yet?
Your career is what you paid for. Your calling is what you made for. Right now, for me, I'm more in the motivational space than I am the comedy space. To teach and share the information I've learned since 1985 and before. There's two things you can't Google. You can't Google experience and you can't Google success. Your ass got to get out here and get that.
Gotta get it.
Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. Like I know I'm getting older. You know, I'm 64 years old. Fly as hell, though.
Wow,
You know what I'm saying? Is you looking? Get your camera and zoom in. I'm fly. No, I don't let nobody take that from me.
Man,
you can
listen.
say what you want to say. I'm 64 and still relevant.
Steve, my brother, the OG, Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for blessing us with your presence on Sip and Smoke, man. It was an honor, man. And I don't want you to take that lightly or the viewer to take that lightly. You know, you dropped some major gemstones in today, and I just want to say thank you for your blessings. Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Hold on, Cam. Let me say something to you.
Say it.
There's an African proverb. Lions don't turn around when small dogs bark. Don't even turn around, dog. You a lion.
Yes, sir.
When them small dogs is barking, you ain't even got to turn around. Because you turn around, you can snap their ass up. Dog, if a lion turn around on a small dog, that bitch is fitting to fold and crumble. Keep walking through the jungle, man, because you a lion.
Damn, he's spitting that truth, though. I know a couple of weeks back, young kid or something at one of Cam's football camps or something was giving him a hard time, and you know, but I'm like, you know, more good you do, the more flack you gonna get. Like they say, let your haters be your motivators. So that's the gem Steve putting in his head. I mean, he did his thing, he made it, he's successful, still dressed funny, but he doing his thing, man. But Steve is right, man. Can't look back, because it's always gonna be somebody that don't want to see you win. So gotta keep it moving. So that's 100 right there.
Lions don't turn around when small dogs bark.
Man, I'm going to take that.
That's you, man.
I'm going to take that. Appreciate you, Mr. Steve.
I'm glad you having me down here. This is a dope-ass spot.
You know what I'm saying?
You got the same amount of Ali pictures I got. I like that.
Appreciate everybody tuning in, Sip and Smoke. I'm your host, Cam Newton, with the unbelievable guest, Steve Harvey. I'm signing off. One finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love. So using the
Yo, that was dope, man. Nice little show, Cam, doing something different outside his element, which is the football field, but smoothed out like some OGs. Even though he a youngster, but he got his head on his shoulder. He doing his thing and kicking it with Steve Harvey. He the OG. He been around for a minute doing his thing. So hopefully y'all like this reaction. Again, this is Yella. This is Organically Speaking. Thank y'all for tuning in. You know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. Come check me out. Like I said, we cover everything from all the current events, food, fitness, the whole nine. So, love y'all. Hope everybody is well. Peace.